Hey YouTube, I am about to go for a zone 2 4 to 5 mile run with some easy strides at the end, and this is what I'm wearing. It is currently 21 degrees and I feel like people just haven't really talked or haven't been able to find a lot on exactly what to wear for this temperature. I will say that I run hot, so if that helps you at all, but let's just go over this real quick so I can start getting warmed up. So on my head, I'm wearing a merino wool headband from Smartwool. I'd gotten the active one. I don't recommend it. Ended up purchasing this. It just has better coverage. It's a lot softer, feels nicer on my head. I'm going to start off today wearing some gloves, and that's going to be these Smartwool mittens, or like glove slash mittens. So it's a glove, and then if it gets a little bit windy, you can turn it into a mitten. These will probably come off after the first mile. So here are the hand mittens, and then they're just really nice because you can just tuck them away inside your jacket or whatever you're wearing. So mittens slash gloves on the outside, first mile. I also am wearing a merino wool buff that is also Smartwool, and this is just part of what I'd had for skiing. This will probably come off again around that mile 1. Headband will probably keep on the entire time. As I said, gloves will probably come off. So now let's jump into everything else that I'm wearing. So on the upper part of my body, I have the Nike thermal vest. You can find this on sale right now. I paid 50% off, or got for 50% off, and I've been pretty happy with it. Had I been able to get the Smartwool version that REI has on sale, probably would have gotten that. Big fan of winter merino wool, so when in doubt, that's a great option to go with. Underneath the vest, I have on a REI 185 base layer. So I have a 250. I have the harrier tee from, or long sleeve tee from Tracksmith. That's again a little bit heavier, but you know, December wise, when it was this temperature down into the teens with an outer like layer or shell, this 185 has been perfect. But again, I run really warm. On the bottoms, I am wearing the Janji Auoura fleece tights, and I don't think you can tell right now, but they have a really unique pattern on them that is reflective. So sometimes I've seen them and they look super funky, but I think I can get away with wearing these now. They have some really nice zippers that are very big in terms of pockets. Not that I've really used much. I try to keep everything as light as possible, so I don't really carry a lot with me, especially when I'm leaving from home. And then on the bottom today, because again I'm doing a little bit of those strides, I'm going to be wearing my Super Blast 2 and a performance sock. So I've picked up some merino ones. These are courier ones. I'm not exactly sure what they're made out of. I got them for $5 from the local running shop who was closing them out. So have been really happy with my $5 socks down from like 50. So that's all I'll be wearing. And as I said, like this will probably stay on the entire time. If I was wearing maybe a wind shell, that would have come off around mile 1. So again, this is what I would be wearing for a 21 degree, or what I will be wearing now for my 21 degree run here in Ohio. So let me know if you have any questions. I will also say that I am 5'2.5", 5'3". I'm wearing a medium in the bottoms. I'm approximately 125 pounds. Up top, I believe I got this vest in a medium because I wanted just a little bit extra room. The REI top layer is also medium, and then everything else is one size fits all. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope you found this helpful. You know, I've gotten really sick of running on the treadmill, in all honesty, and just the time flies so much easier, so much better when you're out on the road. And I used to be the person that just loved to run indoors. So if you're watching this winter, right now I've been seeing a ton of sales on outdoor apparel. If you're watching this, you know, coming up to next winter, you know, keep an eye out. Another bottom that I really like that I debated on wearing today is the Smartwool active fleece leggings or fleece pant. That's been awesome, but because it's in the 20s today, I decided to go with the Aurora fleece tight, which again is super cozy as well. So yeah, drop some comments below, and I'm gonna go run before I start to freeze. See ya. All right there, YouTube. Let's talk about post-run clothes and just like overall how it went. So did just shy of 5 miles today, zone 2 running, and did a little bit of strides. And the overall temperature right now per the weather app is 28 degrees with a real feel of 35. So that's definitely how I was feeling today. As you guys saw what I was wearing originally, or what I'm wearing now, which is a vest, a lightweight merino wool base layer, and some fleece tights with headband, gloves, and a buff. And buff was too much, took that off. Headband was borderline too much. I was just sweating, but I knew that once I took it off, I'd get cold. So I ended up keeping the headband on. Gloves came off about 2 miles in, and maybe I could have put them back on for the strides because I had a little bit of a recovery in between, and so hands started to cool down. But otherwise, gloves were off, and then the vest, I was burning up. I ended up unzipping it down quite a ways to just kind of let that cold air come in. Ideally, probably would have taken this off and just ran with the merino base layer and the fleece tights. Legs felt good, feet felt good, but yeah, just very much overheated. And so for those of you that may also not know, is if it's, you should dress for 10 degrees warmer. So if it's 21, you dress for 31, but the fact that it's a real feel of 35 means you should be dressing for 45-degree weather. So again, that explains just a long sleeve and some tights without the gaiter. All right, I've warmed up, cooled down, all that fun stuff since my run over lunchtime, and I thought I would just do a quick dive in on, again, the items that I was wearing and have it be more of an up-close look. So these are the Auoura pants that I was wearing. So you can see anywhere that's gray, that's the reflective material. So it's really nice. And these are definitely my go-to for morning runs or when it's dark out, just because when your legs are moving, then the cars just see this extra movement. And I, first wasn't so sure on the pattern, but, I really like it. And, I'm not going to say like embarrassed to wear it, like not at night. So on the inside, it is a fleece lined, pair of pants. So it just gives you that little extra buffer. Again, I'd say, today in the 30s, 20s, even the teens, it's been perfectly fine. I haven't felt like the need to layer anything else. But again, as I said, I run hot. And then there are no pockets. So a lot of their stuff has pockets for gels. There are no pockets along the back of the pants. There is a front tie. So they're saying like, this can stay put, and it has some really nice rubberized end bits here. So that's pretty nice that they include that. And then there are pockets, and they are on either side of the leg. So here's one right here. Again, it's got this nice blue pull tab. It stays put, so if you put it down, right, it's not gonna like flip back out unless you have it. And then it will fit quite a generous amount of stuff. So when you first put it in, there's not really, like it seems like it won't fit, but it actually, see if I can explain this better. It expands out towards the backside. So I can put my iPhone 17 Pro right here in this pocket and it fits. I could probably fit, even more on this side. And then it has the same just duplicated pocket on the other side. So they're giving you plenty of pockets to wear. And I'll see if maybe I can show you. I can't show you on the inside. But yeah, so I've been really happy with this pair of tights and leggings, and they've been a go-to. So, especially if you want something reflective for morning runs, the more like that you can be seen, the better. So this is the Auoura tight by Janji, and then Janji does this where all of these pieces here are also reflective, and you can kind of see that in the light. But yeah, and then everything here, I guess I should say, is nice seaming. They are like flat lay seams, but very comfortable. And then I would say again that they run long, or I don't know, maybe regular. So typically, ideally, I would be in like a short pair of pants or like a 28, 29. So there's definitely a little bit of wrinkle for me. But if you're of normal height, I don't think you would really see any. So these are medium. So the next piece that I put down, let me find it and I'll be right back. So the next piece that I want to talk about is the vest that I wore today. And that is this therma vest. What's it actually called? Therma Fit vest from Nike. It's a small, and I'd say it's a very generous fit. So I probably could have gone an extra small in this, but if you're ever going to layer anything underneath, just wanted to have some extra room. So nothing special in the inside, no pockets on the chest on either the inside or the outside, but it does have two pockets on, two hand pockets like normal, and then within these hand pockets, I have some of my cold weather accessories. There are little cinchies here, and they're on both sides of the vest. So if for some reason it's super windy out or you want it to fit just that little bit more snug, I got tissues, I got a bunch of stuff in this pocket. You can go ahead, pop the vest on. I'll show you. And then you can see right here is where the cinching part is. And I'm gonna go ahead and just pull and tighten that all the way in. So it really cinches it up. And it's nice that they offer it on both sides. So now, right, if there's wind, you're not gonna be getting any of that wind because it really brings it in by your waist. So that is the Nike ThermaFit vest. Again, no pockets up here. As you say, when like for sizes, I get a little bit of gapping like in the shoulders, but it's not, anything that I can't live with. Let's move the mic so you can make sure you can still hear me. And then if you zip it up, sorry about the bad audio, all the way, it covers your neck. So like today when I took off the buff, if I needed just that little bit more coverage, it does come up and it goes all the way around so your neck is protected. And this up here is a light, like a neoprene material. And this part here has more of that wind resistance in the front. And then if we take a look at the back, I think the back is mostly that wind material, but it still like sheds heat really well. So let's see. So in the back, yeah, it's just more, it's that same material. So really they just added it in the shoulders so that it gives you just maybe a little bit more like mobility. But yeah, I got it for like $50. I think that's a fair price to pay. And then it has just a single bit of reflection in the back. And then underneath all of that, which I'll just go ahead and link in the description below, but I was wearing my REI merino base layer. And the reason why it's not smart wool, which most of my other stuff is smart wool, is just because I got it for a really good price. And I was like, you know what, let's just give it a try and see. I love smart wool. A lot of my pieces I've had since I've had like 10 or 15 years, and some of them do have holes in them, but again, they're like 10, 15, probably at least 15 years old. So they've held up. And so just another reason why I keep buying them. But when I went to go buy the base layer, they weren't on sale. I think they had just been on sale and I missed out, but I got the REI version for like $50. And I was like, well, I don't need to go spend 120. I'll just spend 50 and see. The 185 has really been like the perfect weight for running for high output activities. So those are the outerwears. Here are these gloves again. Figure I'll just show you maybe because this is a little bit easier than me standing outside. What's nice is that they make the smart wool gloves in an extra small. So if you have like very small hands, in theory, you'll find one that will work for you. So I do have a little bit of room in the fingers, but as I said, like I could be a child's like large. So I have smallish hands. And then it's got a little bit more of the reflective material or accents. And then there's this little section here that you can just pop out, and now it's turned into a mitten. So I just like that idea of having just that little extra coverage. As I said, most of the time they come off, but may as well make it dual purpose. And then nothing special, but here I've had this one. Let's see if it even says on the tag. Oh, I don't even know. It's so worn. But this is just my Smartwool gaiter that I've had for, oh man, I've had this at least 15 years, and it's held up great. So this has been perfect. You could do the buffs, but also like I would do a half buff, because sometimes the buffs get really, really long that I feel like it just takes up so much space on your neck, if that makes any sense, where this is just a bit shorter than a traditional actual buff, branded buff. And then socks, excuse the dog hair. These are Courier, and they have these special little dimples on them. I'm not even going to show you the socks, but I got them for $5. They are left and right sided, and they're definitely more of that just really nice running sock, and I think that that's been pretty important. Though I think socks are one of those things that are just overlooked when it comes to running in general. But just making sure you have a nice pair of socks, and I would say don't over stuff your foot, or don't double layer if you don't have to. And I say that because originally I'd gone out on a super cold day, and I give myself a generous amount of room in my shoes, and was only doing 2 or 3 miles. I was just getting into it, and came back, and like my feet had been kind of rubbed, or I don't know if they would have actually blistered, but it was super uncomfortable. And I had been wearing a pair of heavier ski socks that are also wool, and just because my feet didn't have that extra bit, it just, I think I was almost getting blisters, or something was rubbing. It was not ideal. So I'd almost say wear the thinnest socks that you can, or the normal socks that you would wear, but maybe like a slightly heavier or more cushioned version in the summer. So again, this is what I would wear on a 21 degree, feels like 35 run. And the fact that I run a little bit hot, I did get hot, but it just comes down to being able to have those layers, being able to zip, unzip, take things off, being able to put them into pockets if you can, either on your leggings or within your vest or your jacket, and just kind of be able to stay cool while being not cold. So, all right. Anyway, put the comments, questions down below. So we'll see ya. Bye.